Looks like it's time to leave Nassau.
The ship is beginning to spin around to head right out of the little inlet that you see right there.
So back out into the open ocean. Alright, we have just left Nassau about an hour ago, and the TV is showing us now our track as we're coming out. It'll come back to that a closer up view in just a moment. Here we are. We come out of Nassau, we got to go back out of this inlet, or we came out of a small inlet, we got to go all the way up in this inlet between this groups of islands, and we're coming all the way around to Princess Key, or K, whichever one you want to say. And once it gets back to the close-up again, Princess Key is part of Eleuthera Island, which is the big set of islands that you see is called Eleuthera. So we are headed that way around Eleuthera, it's north tip, and we're going to come back down on the east coast of it to come all the way back around to the bottom island, which is called Princess Key or K. And right now we are in sea depths of 6,450 feet. Very pretty things to see all over the boat. Here's an example of fire, metal, water, and wood. Of course, the earth. Good morning. It's a little disappointing today. They said it was too rough to stay in Princess Key, which is where our port of call was supposed to be today. And we went there, and now they turned around.
Once the hurricane is heading towards the Atlantic, we're gonna get in touch again with our Fleet Operations Center, and we head back to Jacksonville.
The captain and the staff just had a meeting with us, letting us know that we are, instead of going to Princess K, we're going to be going to Freeport. They worked it out that we can go to Freeport and dock there tomorrow. We just found out that this hurricane is stronger than the one that just went up through Florida and North Carolina and Tennessee, Helene. This storm is actually stronger. So we're going to stay south, far as I'm understanding, until this hurricane has come all the way across Florida and out of the area where it would affect us. We may end up being in some rough seas afterwards. We wait to see, but at least they have worked out where we are going to get to be in Freeport.
That's right. We missed Princess K, but we get to go to Freeport instead. Hurricane Milton has changed up our plans. Hopefully that's all it changes.
That's right.
We were going to take a venture out onto the deck 14, which is as high as the elevator we got off of goes, just because the sun has started to shine. But unfortunately, once we got up here to the door, there's a sign saying, "For your safety, please do not enter extremely windy conditions." So they've got the decks closed from the weather conditions. And man, those white caps go as far as you can see. It is windy. We are at the end of day 3, and right now we are headed up toward Freeport, Bahamas. They have updated our map to show that Freeport, Bahamas is on the western tip of this little island here. When we wake up in the morning, we will be at Freeport, Bahamas.
Early the next morning, we had arrived in Freeport, and I noticed this barge coming over to refuel the ship.
We are about to get off the ship in Freeport and see what we can get into. Getting off the ship here in Freeport.
And look at the size of these bumpers.
Ginormous.
Yeah, they're like 8 foot in diameter.
They are here ready to take your picture, and as you can see, it's not busy at all right here at the moment. They had no waiting for your photo.
Welcome to Freeport, right?
Yep, and the retail complex, it says. Got lots of little shops where you can buy all your souvenirs, beachwear if you need. A list of all the shops here. And I see this second board is just a repeat of this board.
Freeport Harbor.
Go back in the room, and today's animal looks like it's a little sheep. Bat. Good to see you, fella.
Little look at all the different animals. We're thinking this is a sheep, maybe a cow. I don't know, whatever your mind makes it out to be. The elephant, a bear,
And a little frog.
We think this is a frog.
A cute little zoo for the window. It's a little look at the little trinkets that we have purchased from our destinations, or received from our destinations. The ones here we got off of the little coupon sheet for Nassau. We've been to Nassau once before and already have a couple little souvenirs for that. And we are not big shoppers or big hoarders of things, so we didn't really need anything extra from there. And then here's our trinkets that we got as souvenirs from Freeport. Got bracelets for our mothers and for our daughter-in-laws. We've already given one to our daughter-in-law that is here along with us on the cruise. She's wearing hers out in Freeport right now. Got myself one, and got Oliver and I a Freeport, Bahamas little turtle magnet, because we did see the sea turtles, although they were over in Nassau, but we did see sea turtles on this trip.
So we're headed back out of Freeport, back out to sea. We're not too sure in what direction we're headed. We don't know if we're going to go back south and tuck in behind Nassau and wait on the storm to pass, or head slowly north back to Jacksonville and let the storm pass ahead of us. And here's a crew member securing the chairs and stuff on the top deck, tying everything down, get prepared for some rough seas. Our apparent wind right now is 51 miles per hour. We're in the sea depth of 1,520 feet. Present winds is 46 miles per hour. We were right here at Freeport, and it looks like we're headed more in a angle down towards the bottom part of Florida right now. We come from back this way, and we were told that we might tuck in behind Nassau, but the direction that we're traveling to me looks like we're headed towards the south part of Florida. And right in here, which is the Tampa area, this is where the worst of the hurricane should come across right here and come up this way, blocking us from going back to Jacksonville, where we need to go back to the port.
So we made it down to the atrium, and they're about to have a Stein hoisting contest.
There you go. So the rules is, your back should be up straight, arms up straight, thumbs by the side like this, not on top of the handle. Straighten your hands. Straighten them straight up, back up straight, go bend your back. Misha, straighten your hands. You can jump it and chug it. Your choice. Good. Alright. You want to chug it? Chug, 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 chug. Everybody take a shake that team. You turn around to me. Turn around. Chug, chug, chug. Hold it up.
So the wave height is starting to pick up out here, guys. I'm gonna give you a look right out of our window here. You can tell the seas are getting pretty rough and choppy. I'm estimating we're in 6 to 8 foot seas now, and you can see that we're moving along pretty good. This is the fastest that I've seen the captain bring the ship up to, and we're at almost 14 knots right now, and we're still headed in a southwest direction. I was wondering when we left here, was he running to go over to Miami, but maybe he's running to Bimini. We were told that they were going to tuck in behind Nassau, and I don't know when that changed, and they could have made an announcement. Sometimes in your room it's hard to hear the announcements on this ship. Now our present winds is 44 miles per hour, so this ship is headed into 44 mile per hour wind. That means it's hitting us almost straight on. You can see the arrow. This is the front, representing the front of the ship, and it's hitting us almost head on, which is causing an apparent wind of 62 miles per hour. So if you're standing on the deck right now, on one of the decks, you're getting hit by almost 62 mile per hour wind. Captain's pushing it. He's pushing this big ship, and luckily, one thing about being in rough water like this is we're almost headed directly into the waves, which is a good thing. When a ship or a boat gets crossways, in the waves, it's a lot more dangerous and creates a lot more shaking back and forth, or lisping back and forth. And I'm telling you, some of these waves that I'm seeing out here now, guys, they got to be at least 8 footers. It could be a little more than that. So wherever he's headed, we're headed there with him. We've got our trust in the captain and just hoping that everything goes well, and I'm sure it will. We just got to believe that it is, and saying a little prayer for the ones that are in the path of the storm at this time. That's what we're doing.
But these people keep moving, and that's what's archers. If they drink from the schools, that they'll change my then I'm over all they'll find down like.
Guys, everything on the boat is just moving along kind of like normal. The crew continues to entertain all the passengers and make the situation that we're in pretty easy on us. We are now down below Florida. I don't even know where we're headed.
We're still to the east of Florida, but we're a little further south of the tip of Florida.
Right. We are south of Florida though. So we have come down a good ways to run away from this storm, and just don't know, where we're going to end up. I get back in the room, we'll pull up a map real quick and show you exactly where we at. But
this boat is wobbling during the shows. People are like going back and forth across the stage.
Even some of the crew members are getting sick.
Yeah.
We've been kind of hanging out, watching some of the shows and hanging out in the casino, playing some games, and just kind of, doing what we can to stay normal. But hey, it is what it is. We're still here. That's all that matters. So guys, here's a little look at what is going on as far as our location now. You can see we were all the way up here in Freeport today and left out, and this is the tip end of Florida, and we are way down past Florida. Yeah, getting close to Cuba area. We're at 1,910 foot of water. The winds now are 35 miles per hour, and they're hitting us coming in almost straight on the front of the ship here, you can see, and it's making our apparent wind on the ship 45 to 50 miles per hour, which is lower than what it was earlier. We were in the 60 something mile per hour apparent winds. We've got down low enough here that we're in a safer situation as far as the hurricane. This hurricane going across Florida, so sad. And right now it's about halfway across. I don't even know what time it is right now.
1:30 in the morning on October 10th, Thursday.
So it's 1:30, and this is our fifth night. We actually should have been back to Jacksonville tomorrow morning, but the Jacksonville port where we were supposed to return to, it is closed down at this time because of the hurricane, even though it's up in Jacksonville. So this is the situation we're in. And I guess this is going to be, the last little update that we give you tonight. Hopefully things go pretty smooth on through tonight and we can get some rest. We've been having, everything like I was telling you guys has been moving straight on, good as good can be. The crew is doing an awesome job, keeping everyone entertained, and I don't see like no mass panic or anything like that. Everybody's still eating and stuff like normal on the cruise ship, the same type of atmosphere that you would see on a cruise. There was a few people that we've seen that were sick, or we heard about them getting sick, but it's not like no widespread deal. The biggest waves that we've seen, 8 to 10 footers, I guess. It could have got worse than that. So, see you guys in the morning. Good morning. We made it through the night, and we're down around Cuba, and we're eating a little breakfast here this morning. A little bit of hash browns, pancakes, one of my favorite, and some ham and orange juice. Get this day started.
As of this time, though, we are just staying away from the storm is the only real update there. We are on the other side of Cuba taking shelter from the weather near Florida, but we are still, at this time, very, very safe. We are here to keep having fun and keep you informed as we get new information as we get it. We will have a 2 o'clock Q&A in the Mikado Lounge this afternoon. I will be joined by your captain, Lorenzo Lombardi, as well as a few of our other senior officers to join us and talk about everything that we know so far, and maybe answer any questions and address any concerns that you may have over the next day or two together here on board the Carnival Elation. But we do have a great day for you today, folks. Thank you so much for your understanding and for continuing to choose fun.
So they're going to give us an update on what's going on at 2 o'clock today. Have a meeting with the captain and some of the crew just to go over everything with us.
So just a quick update on where we are located now. We came straight south last night, running from the hurricane. They just headed straight south as far as close to Cuba as they could get without causing too much headache. But you see, we have turned now and are going around this little area and are headed back this way. And I'm assuming we're headed back towards Jacksonville, because from what the announcement was that they made earlier, about an hour or so ago, that the hurricane has already passed off of the east coast of Florida now. So they'll just need to wait to have the port assessed and things like that, and know that the port is back open before we can actually go back into port at Jacksonville. They have updated our app and added an extra day, so we are still not sure when they are bringing us back to port. Right now we are in a parent wind of 28, and the wind has hit us dead on the bow of the boat. So they have us at a speed of 11 knots. Present actual wind is 15 miles per hour. And their tracking system, as you can see, the little yellow line has stopped, it started here. It actually has stopped and started about 4 or 5 times on this trip. So I'm not really sure what's up with that. The ones we've been on before, you can see your entire track all the time. I guess we'll find out where we're going when we get there.
That was that. Yeah, that's the whole PowerPoint, my guy.
That's all the PowerPoint. Okay, good.
Hurricane Q&A briefing on what's going on.
It's too big. I need a stick now. Okay.
Oh, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. There's a laser. Hold on. There's a little laser button right there. Yeah, look at that.
Can you see the laser? I don't like it. I want a stick. Alright, so what we did, if Freeport is right here, we went down as fast as possible. And We went down as fast as possible, and we let the hurricane pass north of us. We stayed north of Cuba, so that's why we didn't get apart from the initial 3 hours, we didn't get any wind in the day and today. So now what we are doing, we are going back. We are slowly going back to Jacksonville. So what we are doing now, we are in this position, we are going back north. Storm is still passing. We may still feel tomorrow a little bit of waves because that area is still affected. We will not have a lot of wind, but you may expect some waves. So usual recommendation when you are walking around, the ship may suddenly move, pay attention. We try to minimize, of course, the movement of the ship as we did it, getting out quickly from the hurricane, but just a reminder. The Fleet Operations Center in conjunction with Coast Guard are telling us that they will assess probably the port tomorrow evening. However, our entrance at the moment is scheduled for 12 in the morning, early in the morning. What they're gonna do? They're gonna do an assessment because they are afraid that the storm, the wind, and the waves move the buoys or get any damage to the port. So as soon as I have any information, as usual, I will come back to you. At the moment, looks like we're gonna enter in the morning of the 12th.
As you can see, we are definitely headed back north. And long story short is we're on a slow path back up to Jacksonville now, and they're kind of still waiting on the port to open, and they're hoping that it'll open the AM hours of the 12th. And therefore, if they do that, the captain's saying that we, which will be Saturday, will get off the boat Saturday. And they have informed us that all of our vehicles that were left at the port, they are okay at this time. There will be no extra charges for the time that our vehicles were there, because if you don't know about cruising, you do have to pay per day for your vehicle to be left at the port. There's drink packages available to the passengers on the cruise ships, and they have extended them free to the ones that have them. And did I miss anything else that was of importance?
The internet's the same way.
The internet, yeah, if you've got the internet package, they've extended that also. So
your gratuities are paid also by day. You don't have to pay any extra for that. And for those of you who haven't kept up with our timeline, we're going to be coming in on Saturday, which is 2 days later than we were originally planned. We were supposed to be actually in port this morning, which is Thursday, to debark at 7 o'clock this morning. And now they're talking about it's going to be moved to sometime probably early morning, 7 o'clock again, 8 o'clock, but they said they would shift it around, but 2 days later.
So to everyone at this point that has been keeping up with the video, and if you hadn't followed along with the whole video, we left out of Jacksonville. We were scheduled to go to Nassau and to Princess Cay, which we did stop at Nassau like planned, and we're there for a day. We went over to Princess Cay, and when we got there, the shuttle boats that carried you back and forth from the ship to the beach would not come out and take us over because it was too rough. There is not a dock there for the Carnival Elation to dock at, so they have to anchor and shuttle you over to the beach. When they found out that they were not going to be able to do that, the captain set up arrangements for us to go to Freeport right here. He, give us a little break to get off the boat, another port that we could stop at. And while we were there, they took the opportunity to fuel the boat, and also I'm pretty sure add extra water and stuff, because I've seen them, the hoses and stuff hooked up to the boat. And when we left Freeport, we hauled buggy. I mean, they had this big boat, this big cruise ship, 18 knots was what I was seeing, somewhere around there, give and take. It should show through the video. Against some 40 and 50 mile an hour winds hitting us head on, which was causing up to a 60 mile an hour apparent wind at times. And this is the point where we're at now. We actually come down right here, almost, I think we were within like 20 miles of Cuba. We made a turn about to the west, and we are headed slowly now back north. That's about as much update as I can give you. At this time, it's 3,640 feet deep. We have a apparent wind, and it's coming from our port side, which is the left, at 24 miles per hour, 22 mile per hour regular wind speed. And now we're moving. They slowed down the ship on the return because there's no need to rush getting back. It's at 11.2 knots, which is still, fast for a big ship like this. It's still a good speed. And the crew, again, this has been an amazing crew on this boat. They have went above and beyond to do more shows and just make all the passengers, try. It's like you don't even feel like you're in this situation. This has been an amazing experience, honestly, running from a hurricane. I know there was times of worry and the ship was rocking at times, but the captain, he knew how to position the boat that we were headed straight into the waves and stuff from what I could see. And he has did an awesome job, him and the crew, of steering the boat in the right direction to avoid us going through too much rough seas or jolting around. And the entertainers, amazing job.
Yeah, we have to give props to the crew because, not to make light of the situation at all, but the cruise director and the captain, they were saying in the first Q&A briefing that we had that really running from, being in a situation facing a hurricane, you're probably actually better being on the boat because since they do have the knowledge to track the hurricane across where it's coming, that, being on the ship, we can run from the hurricane. We can actually move, whereas Florida can't move. They're stuck where they're at. So we're actually in a better situation than even some of the ones that were in the path. So our heart goes out to those ones that were in the path since they have just been hit by Helene. And now Milton has come and devastated some areas as well.
I don't know how much more the people in Florida can take. It's so sad. And I guess it's sad for anyone up through this area where these last few hurricanes have hit and the ones before, but back to back. We're going to go get us something to eat at this time.
We're back up to Bonsai Sushi Express and looks like Zach has got him something. What'd you get, Zach?
I got shrimp and bear rolls.
Okay.
A little update on what's going on with us at this time. It is 10:24. We are now getting close, almost back up to around the Miami area. You can see right here, we was down here around Cuba, and right now we're moving at 10.4 knots. Our present winds are 29 miles per hour. That's hitting us head on, causing a 39 mile per hour apparent wind. So they're taking it easy going back up to Jacksonville because, like we've been telling you guys, is that we are kind of in a situation where the U.S. Coast Guard has got to check out the port area, make sure buoys and stuff like that hadn't been moved around. So when the ships and shipping traffic is coming into the port, they staying safe and keeping everybody in the main channels. So that's supposed to happen in the AM hours of Saturday morning. So we're hoping by the time that happens, everything's cleared and we get off the ship that morning, and they starting to schedule people maybe to get off if you're there 8 or 9, in that time frame. And another thing that the Carnival crew or whoever decides, I'm not too sure about how they decide it, but they have give everyone aboard Wi-Fi. We have access to Wi-Fi even if we didn't pay for the package. That I think they did that just out of a gesture to the ones that here on the ship with us, to help out with the situation so we can communicate with loved ones and friends and stuff like that on social media. Like for instance, if you guys want to check out the page that me and Stephanie have kind of created, it's Salty Reflections on Facebook. And here's a little picture that I just kind of shared with Stephanie and I aboard the ship. I'm going to read through it real quick, so just tell you, we've been running from Hurricane Milton on the Carnival Elation. At this time, all aboard are safe and being taken care of by the crew. This crew has done a great job of keeping everyone safe and entertaining everyone to the best of their abilities. Last night, the captain steered us out of Freeport and pushed the ship as hard as it could south to within 20 miles of Cuba to avoid Milton. We're now slowly headed back to Jacksonville. It's likely we'll be traveling through some rough seas on our journey back. Stephanie and I have videoed as much of this experience as we can to share with others, and that's what we're doing now. We've made it this far, and we're praying for everyone affected by this storm. We're always, thinking about others that, some people didn't have the opportunity to run from a storm like we did to get out of its path. Some people get caught in these storms and they just don't have a way to get away from them. And, it's tragic to hear this kind of stories. But we are coming back up to Miami, and the captain, he was telling us that when we get back up in this area, all of this area where the storm just went through, even though the storm has already went through that area, it still has the seas stirred up. And they're saying we're going to be going through some rough conditions, and at this time we are starting to hit some big waves. We can feel the ship bounce every now and then as it's pushing through those waves, because when you got this head-on wind right here coming, this is representing the front of the ship. When it's head-on like this, more than likely the waves are coming directly out of the front of the ship too. So when we hit a big wave, you can just feel this ship, it just jolts. And they're doing a little entertainment for us and stuff, and we was just in a comedian show where they was letting some comedians entertain us, and now while we were in there, that's when we started to notice just the jerking motion of the boat hitting those waves. So we're going to keep trying to update you guys as we move forward. Just wanted to bring you back on right now at this time to show you and let you know what's going on, trying to keep you updated as much as we can.
Here's another cruise ship back here in the distance, and you can see how much the stern of the boat is going up and down in the waves. We're rocking and rolling. We're close enough to land where I could actually get some real signal on my phone, and seas say they are 11 feet right now at 12-second intervals. So it's a rockin'.
3 a.m. Friday morning, and we are right here off of Miami, which we've been telling you where we was at. And we're moving north at 11.7 knots. It's 740 feet of water right here where we are. Looking out of the boat, it looks like we're 5 to 6 miles right off the coast of Miami.
Yeah, we're close enough right now to actually get real cell phone signal instead of just, the Wi-Fi or the internet from the ship.
Yeah, and another thing that we were able to look up is look on the app on Stephanie's phone also to see what the wave heights are that we are dealing with right now. And it's about right where I called it. I was saying we was in 10 to 12 footers, and the app is showing that we're in about 11 footers. So we're getting a lot of rocking motion up and down, especially the front and the back of the ship. It has a tendency, if you ever do decide to go on a cruise, if you have issues with nausea and stuff, getting seasick, the best place to be on a ship is the midsection of the ship front to back and the midsection from top to bottom. That is the best place. Right here we're on the 5th floor. We are actually about 3/4 of the way towards the front of the ship, which is still okay. Right here we're not experiencing near as much waves as like we do when we go to like the restaurant that's at the back of the ship and different areas of the ship. We're seeing a lot of difference than where we're at. So the little reminder, that's a little pointer for the ones that do decide to book a ship or a cruise. Stay midship, midways, both front to back, up, down.
Your day 7, Friday, October 11th, 2024, and you see it's about noon. And we have been tracking pretty slowly, 12.7 knots. And we have gone from the area where we were right off of Miami last night. We were right off of Miami last night, and we have made it up to right about just east of the Port St. Lucie, West Palm Beach area, right here. So we have traveled from there to there from our update last night. And we are at a depth of 105 feet. Present winds are 30 miles per hour with apparent winds. They're coming out of the northeast, so they're hitting this direction. So we're having an apparent wind of 42 miles per hour right at this moment. And the boat is swaying a little bit back and forth, side to side. And you can see why. We're getting some big rollers outside of our little zoo here. You can see the water splashing off the boat. And waves are two-dimensional in the video, of course, so they do not look as large as what they are in person, I promise. I looked it up on the app, and the waves are still about 11 feet with 12-second intervals at this moment. People are walking side to side in the dining room, having a little trouble standing up. Some of the ones who may be a little easier to be off balance to begin with. So just something we're experiencing right now. But everybody's safe. The winds and the hurricane Milton that was off the East Coast is continuing to move further out, and we are still waiting to hear if the port opens in Jacksonville. The captain updated us earlier and said they are not quite open at the moment, but he's awaiting information. They're supposed to assess it this afternoon and let them know. On deck 15, no doubt it's a little windy today. 40 miles an hour. Our steward for this trip was Homer, and he treated us great. And I would recommend you always take care of your stewards and let them know that you appreciate their service. They are always so nice and helpful, and I hope everyone has the same experience with their steward. And of course, if you're going to do that, make sure you catch them the day before you debark, as you debark in early time frames in the morning, and you are not likely to see them in person the morning that you debark.
Good morning. It's the last day. We have made it back to
Deck 10, Lido.
If you have made it this far in the video, give yourself a pat on the back. It's been a long ride. We truly had a great time being on the Carnival Elation. I know we are 2 days past due getting back, but hey, we are fine with that. We were treated very good. Lots of great service, lots of great entertainment. We definitely recommend the Carnival to anyone that's out there looking for a cruise to go on. We thank you guys for coming along with us on this video, and we look forward to sharing more videos with you and others. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, go with us on some of our other videos. Thank you so much for watching.
And for those of you who have watched the video, we truly appreciate it. If you guys are thinking about taking the Carnival Elation out for a test drive, please do. It was a load of fun. Thanks, and bye y'all.